Next day we'll never find, and we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one all behind. We can dance.
Well, there it is. You can dance if you want to, people. But if your friends don't dance, they ain't no friends of mine. What's happening with ammunition? Let's dance. All right, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of stories out there. A lot of them. And okay, let's get to the truth of the matter. What isn't it? Well, it's not a clandestine act to keep you from getting your ammunition. It is not a, is it a conspiracy theory? Well, there's lots of those. Is it a Democratic, that's terrible, Democrat Party, yeah, that's better, the Democrat Party sponsoring or in some way curtailing the production of, I have heard through many sources that the primers are being withheld by the Democratic Party so that the manufacturers can't make bullets. Well, we do know the shelves are bare. Okay, we can start there. We do know that it's getting harder and harder to find any deal, and they're mostly what's left is ripoffs. And quite honestly, you're delving into areas that it's quite illegal to sell fire, ammunition, firework. That's not fireworks, is it? Ammunition without a federal license. And when you buy your magazine, that's not the case. When you buy a ton, I'm starting to talk like Joe Biden. That's terrible. Forgive me. If you buy a pallet of ammunition, you're basically going to get all one caliber. That's enough, at least for me, I'm assuming would last about 2,000 years. So that's probably more than I need. But I do know that I can purchase a pallet of a single caliber. And the price is, well, considered normal. It's pretty high. But considering that volume, it's actually considerably lower. We're just talking about a smack bunch of money. And you go ahead and try, well, I'll just sell it to my friends and people that need it. It's bigger trouble than you want. So you can't do that. Why would pallets be available? Okay, let's see what happens. Housing. You live in a community. There's 1,000 houses. What, 2 are for sale? And when those 2 sell quickly because somebody just opened up a pizzeria and they hired a few people that moved into the area, and the houses sold quick, and then the next couple of people said, whoa, those sold quick, and they put theirs on, and they got more than they asked for, and the next thing you know, 10 people are flipping houses, and they're all buying these houses, but there's only a few for sale, so the price appears to go up astronomically. This is what happened to ammunition. The manufacturers make what they know to be an average amount of ammunition that's used by, let's say, this country, let's just say, and they know about how much that is, and they design their plants to build that much plus a little, and to cover downtime and what have you. And sometimes they like to fill the warehouse because it's a low buying time, and sometimes they like to empty the warehouse because it's a low production time and high selling season. So they've got this pretty much figured out. What they can't do is predict mob activity. And I say mob activity, I'm not talking about the organized crime. I'm talking about just a plain old mob, bunch of guys. Uncle Billy Bob heard on the news that there's going to be riots up in the street there. Probably can't say that word, so we didn't say that. It was the figment of your imagination. Anyway, I'm going to go buy me some ammunition. He buys him a couple boxes, and Jimmy Joe goes with him, and he gets him a couple boxes. And pretty much most of the people they know are there getting a couple boxes, and within a very short period of time, the stock is gone, and there is no more in there. But they order more, they get more, and they decide, well, we'll have some on Wednesday. They do, and then they get that, and then that goes kind of fast because people were waiting. And so they up their order for the following week, and that goes even faster. And what happens is very quickly, since all the places that are buying all the ammunition shops are buying from these distributors, the distributors are feeling this crunch and they're ordering more and emptying in the warehouse. Well, you know what happens right before a hurricane when there's no bottled water or toilet paper. Okay, we all know about that stuff. That's what happens with the ammunition. That's what happened. But the thing is, it got much worse because with ammunition, there's people that get, let's say, a little uneasy if they don't have any, and they like to go out and make some. They get uneasy, they shoot up more, and they need a bunch. So there's that faction, and there are some people that will say, well, you know, I'm going to get my box. If I can't get my box, I'll buy a case. If I can't get a case, I'll buy a pallet, and I'm just going to do it. And those people exist. Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of those people to counteract the amount of ammunition that hundreds of people might normally buy, maybe thousands. So therefore, I mean, a normal guy on a normal year buys, who knows, a box of ammunition. Some people shoot that up in a day. Some people aren't. All people. So average guy, box a year, whatever. 300 million boxes a year. They put them on the shelves. Well, when something like this happens, those are gone, and the distributors are gone. And the only place that you can buy ammunition is directly from the manufacturer, and they're pumping it out. They're turning over like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every machine running. If it shuts down, fix it and get it going again. And are they going to build a new machine? No, because that costs a lot of money, and they're not making that much money on this. And therefore, whenever times go back to, let's call it normal, they're not selling as much ammunition, but they're paying for that plant. So they're not going to build it. It's not in their best interest to build it. If the government wants to build one because they think it's a national security issue, that's kind of something we'll probably never hear about. But nonetheless, they don't like to build ammunition. They like to buy it. So that's the government. That is whoever it is that does that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Once you know that, you can settle down a bit and say, okay, this is a normal reaction within a capitalist system, which I'm glad we have. The alternatives are crazy. And they can be made to sound so good. But you best take that wrapping off and see what's underneath that stinks. So anyway, in a capitalist system, this would be a normal occurrence, and that's fine. However, there is one little thing out there, and this was probably where we'll get banned, but watch it until then. Getting banned around here is common. So here's what's uneasy about this situation. Let's just call it uneasy, because we don't want to go anywhere else with this right now. There are some people that own an awful lot of ammunition. People that own so much ammunition that they could sponsor their own, let's call it a war, easily. Well, the thing about these people, they're not all that stable. Some of them are very unstable. Some of them are extremely stable. But you're getting out on the edge there. And what you got is somebody very nervous about an awful lot of artillery that they now have in their possession and have to guard. And they tell Jimmy Bob, he knows about it, and Bobby Joe knows about it, and John Billy Boo, he knows about it. They all talking to their cousins, and everybody in the county knows about it. And then something happens. Yeah. What happened last summer? I don't know. This happened, then that happened, then the other thing happened. It didn't matter what happened. We're going to have a riot. Let's figure out. Something will happen. We'll happen about that. That's what happened. That's what happened last summer. And I think we're going to see a bit more of that. The reasons are pretty obvious. We've gotten into that before. We don't have to get into it today. But that's what's up with the ammunition. That's what's unsettling about the current situation. Is these guys, there's the next step to this. These guys, they think, okay, they've protected themselves and their families with this ammunition, but what they've actually done is painted a target on their back. And there are people who would say, this is wonderful. We not only can nobody else get ammunition, we can, and we don't have to pay for it. We'll just go steal it from him. He won't let you. We'll get it, don't worry. So you get the idea. This is the beginnings of a very unsettling situation. Because those folks got their ammunition free. So, and they've already proven that their intent to use it is likely. It's starting to get a little unsettling. Let's call it unsettling today, shall we? All right, so that's pretty much it for today. I hope you felt as good about it as I did, because an idea like that doesn't come along very often. So Rax loves you, and don't do anything Rax wouldn't do. Well, night night.